Okay, so I want to start with a number, and I promise this connects to everything. Just stay with me for a second. The Fed runs this thing called the Survey of Consumer Finances every 3 years. And in the 2025 version, households making between $150,000 and $200,000 a year, the median amount sitting in checking and savings combined was $8,700. $8,700. That's it. Not retirement, not investments, just the money you'd actually have if your card got declined tomorrow. And the median car payment for that same group, $743 a month. I keep coming back to those two numbers because nobody puts them next to each other, and once you do, it kind of explains everything else in this video. There's this term, Henry, high earner, not rich yet, and for the longest time I thought not yet meant something like, give it 5 years, they'll get there. But there's no yet. For most people in that bracket, there's just a treadmill. And I used to think that was like a personal failing thing. It's not. It's the design. Which, okay, picture a parking lot. Doesn't matter which one, every office has this exact lot. 2 cars. Honda Accord, beat up, probably 11 years old, one hubcap's just gone. And a leased Range Rover, financed at something like 6.9% over 72 months. Heated everything. Accord guy has $3.2 million in a brokerage account. House is paid off. Kids' college? Done. Funded. The Range Rover guy, and look, I see this constantly, this isn't hypothetical. If you actually pulled up his checking account, he's 3 missed paychecks from a collections call. Nobody in that lot can tell which is which. And that's actually the whole video in a way. That's the thing I want to dig into. Because here's what I keep landing on. Your employer says they're paying for your labor, right? That's the line item on the offer letter. But that's not really the transaction. What they're actually buying, and this took me embarrassingly long to figure out, is your inability to say no. If you've got some breathing room, say $200 a month of slack, you can push back on the Friday 6 p.m. meeting. You can ask for remote work, and your voice doesn't shake when you ask. Worst case, they say no. You have a bad week. But the guy with the $950 car payment, the mortgage eating 40% of take-home, 2 subscriptions he forgot he's even paying for, every uncomfortable conversation now has a number attached, a big one. Big enough the conversation just doesn't happen.
And the bank already knows this about you, by the way. They ran your debt to income before they approved that loan. So your employer doesn't even need the number. The car already told them. Which, there's that stat from the Millionaire Next Door, and I want to get this right. Let me think. It's something like median price actual millionaires pay for a car is around $31,000. And something like 1 in 10 households under 100K income are driving luxury. 2 totally different groups of people. Sometimes they overlap, almost never the same person. So, and this is the part I think people miss most. The second your life starts signaling you have cash, the system around you starts trying to take some of it. Nobody decided this. Nobody's in a room plotting it. Drive into a mechanic's in something nice, the quote changes before they pop the hood. Live in a certain zip code, your insurance reflects the zip code, not how you drive. Show up to dinner looking like you're doing well, somehow the check ends up in front of you. Nobody asked, it just happens. It's not malice, it's more like water finding the low point. The moment you look like you have cash, the world finds a way to take it. And there's a sharper version too. Security people call it whaling, and it's not random. A phishing operation isn't spending real effort on someone whose footprint says broke. They're spending it on the guy with the watch in his Instagram, the vacation photos, the new car. You're not a target because you have money. You're a target because you told the internet you might. Okay, and this connects to something bigger actually, which is ownership as a concept is just quietly disappearing, being replaced with access, recurring access. Car leases were the first version of this. You're not buying a car, you're renting the depreciation curve of somebody else's car, structured to feel like a normal payment, but functioning like rent except worse, because you can't break it, can't sublet it, and at the end you own nothing. But it's everywhere now. There was a period where some car companies were selling heated seats as a monthly subscription, and the hardware's already in the car, installed at the factory. They just flip a switch unless you pay. Tractor companies lock farmers out of their own diagnostic software unless there's a service contract, so you can own the tractor outright and still not be allowed to fix it yourself. Mattresses, razors, vitamins, stuff that used to be one purchase now auto-renews, on purpose, because the moment it auto-renews, you're not choosing to buy it again. You have to choose to stop. Most people don't.
And, sorry, I want to go back to the car thing for a second, because the financing piece is wild, and I don't think people actually run these numbers. Dealerships sell you a monthly number, because the monthly number hides the only number that matters, which is the total cost of borrowing the money. So, $65,000 vehicle, 7.2%, 72 months. That's roughly $1,115 a month. Against a $100K salary, that feels fine. But let me actually walk through this. That's hiding about $15,300 in pure interest over 6 years, money that buys you nothing. And if you stretch it to 84 months, the payment drops, feels even better, but total interest climbs past $19,000 because now you're paying interest longer while the car is losing value faster than the loan balance drops. So for a chunk of that loan, you owe more than the car's worth. Underwater, they call it. And at any given time, a huge share of financed vehicles in this country are sitting there, underwater. Dealerships not really making money on the car, by the way. It's the financing. Every extra month of term is profit for somebody, not you. There's a whole design discipline, fintech, e-commerce, whose entire job is shrinking the gap between wanting something and having paid for it, because that gap's the only moment you'd reconsider. One-click purchasing removes the "wait, I'm spending money" moment. Buy now, pay later splits $200 into four $50 charges, and there's research on this. It registers as way less painful even though it's the same total. Roundup apps round your coffee to $5, save you the 70 cents, and you get this little saving-shaped feeling without the spending ever actually getting interrupted. That's behavioral conditioning, clinically. Small rewards reinforcing a behavior by attaching a saving feeling to it.
The apps aren't lying. They do help you save, a little, while quietly taking away your resistance to spending a lot. Anyway, back to the parking lot, because I think this is where it actually lands. A cord guy's transportation cost, insurance, gas, maintenance on a paid-off car, call it $180, $220 a month. Range Rover guy with the lease and the premium insurance and the gas that thing drinks, $1,100 to $1,200. Gap's about $950 a month. Take that $950 every month, age 25 to 55, 30 years. S&P 500, long run average, 10%. You land around $2.1 million. The Range Rover's worth scrap by then. The $2.1 million isn't. And nobody in that lot can see either number. That's it. That's the whole thing. Looking unremarkable isn't a discipline tactic. It's leverage. A contractor who thinks you're price sensitive gives you the honest quote first. A dealer who thinks you might walk gives you the number they'd give somebody with options. The Accord guy isn't missing out on anything. He's just not being priced by everyone he runs into all day. And yeah, that's most of it, honestly. The people who keep what they make are the ones the system never sees coming.